From Improv Broadway, this is the Comediathalon.
Welcome everyone to the Comediathalon, a brand new show format that we're trying out. It's 3 rounds, 8 comedians.
Here's how the show works. There will be 3 rounds. The first round, each comedian will go one at a time telling one-liner jokes. After the first round, the comedians will have 15 minutes to write brand new jokes based on prompts given to them by the audience. Round 2, comedians will once again go one at a time telling their new jokes they just wrote. After round 2, the audience will vote for 2 comedians to advance to the final round, where the 2 comedians will do a tight 5-minute set. Tonight's comedians are John Deming, Taylor Nielsen, Joe Holt, Oz Morris, Christian Leddick, Adam Browd, Matt Hamblin, and Dennis High.
I'm really good at the game Bop It, which is another way of saying I'm good at doing what I'm told.
I was just wondering, why couldn't Matt Damon walk in 2002, 2004, or 2007? Because he had just barely been born.
Gosh, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know about you guys, but the quarantine has been treating me really well. I've gone on a walk every day this week. I read 2 pages of an actual book. I wrote some things down in a planner. What I'm trying to say is I'm a CEO now.
Backstreet Boys has recently reunited and saying, I want it that way from 5 different locations. Meanwhile, we don't want it anyway from any location.
This is my impersonation as the crazy girlfriend meme if she was singing Carly Rae Jepsen's smash hit, Call Me Maybe. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so have my babies.
I was watching this interview, and the journalist asked Trump what his favorite Olympic race was, and he said Caucasian.
I feel like my favorite character from Harry Potter is George Weasley, because I also don't have a twin.
I've gained a lot of weight recently, and because of that, everyone's like, hey, you should exercise more. What they don't realize is at this weight, I exercise all day. For example, this morning I did a 30-minute cardio session called Putting on My Socks.
So I recently got married. Applause, applause. When I was single, I used to get really nervous around women. My friends would always be like, just be yourself. So I would continue being nervous around women.
In the news lately, we heard about a person who fakes skin disease for profit. I was wondering where he hides his gold. Maybe the end of the rainbow because he's a leprechaun.
Okay. Yikes.
So I started going out with this girl, and things are going really great. But then, all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, she's like, "Joe, I need to tell you something. I'm not like other girls. My favorite band is the '90s multi-platinum post-grunge rock movement, Creed, and I need to know if you accept me for who I am." And I said, "You mean with arms wide open?"
A cop recently tackled a limbless teenager. I don't know why. He was unarmed.
I don't know if you guys saw, a week into quarantine, O.J. Simpson was quoted as saying that he'll go crazy if golf courses get closed. And I was like, murder someone crazy or armed robbery crazy? Could go either way.
Why do we call it a mammogram machine and not a booby trap? Is that appropriate for this? Can I say that?
So a while back, my younger brother was growing a beard, and it was coming in patchy and not that great. So we were teasing him about it, and he said, yeah, my girlfriend and I are trying to decide if I should keep it or get rid of it. My sister said, yeah, that's a lot of power your girlfriend has over your beard. It's like you're raising it together. And I said, yeah, because those are the same decisions you make with a kid. Do we ditch it because it's ugly or hang on to it and hope it gets better over time?
I was born in Russia while it was still under communist rule, so I was literally born a communist. Because of that, I do expect the same amount of laughs as everyone else tonight.
I don't buy Irish Spring soap because I don't believe in ethnic cleansing.
Hey, did you guys hear about Matthew McConaughey's evil twin? He's a white nationalist. His go-to saying is alt-right, alt-right, alt-right.
So I was at Olive Garden with my girlfriend, you know, the one who loves 90s multi-platinum post-grunge rock movement Creed. And the waiter comes over and he's like, hey, can I get you guys any more breadsticks? And I was like, actually, that'd be great. Because I'm down to one last bread.
The star Babyface has come out and said that he has coronavirus. Is this guy still around? Shouldn't his name by now be Old Man Face?
You know, before John Deming moved from Utah, we were spending a lot of time together, and I think it was too much time. He's one of the sweetest people you ever meet, very kind, very nice. And the other day, someone was talking about, you know, I can't remember the actor from the Terminator movies. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger N-word. I can't say it anymore, John. You're making me a better person. I appreciate it.
If Hitler was alive today, I bet he'd be pretty disappointed with the show The Amazing Race.
I feel like the only way to follow dating advice from religious leaders is to say things like, hey girl, are you tithing? Because my bishop tells me it's time to settle.
The coronavirus and lockdown has done a lot for feminism, so much so that the WNBA draft received a 125% ratings increase over the past 20 years.
That's it for round one. For round two, the comedians were given 15 minutes to write brand new jokes on the following topics: third grade science, what I won't miss from before the quarantine, Vietnam, office supplies, pandemic eating habits, and current apocalypse fashion.
I recently went to a museum about Pompeii. I didn't realize ancient Italy had that much baking soda and vinegar.
Someone once asked me what I won't miss before the isolation, and I think it's okay to answer my grandparents.
Oh my gosh. Guys, this pandemic is really taking a toll on my eating habits. I mean, now we're talking cereal every morning, burritos every afternoon, pizza every night. So different from what I did before.
Someone was asking what I won't miss from before the pandemic, and I have to say, shaking someone's really clammy, sweaty hand, or that this. Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
I'm right here, Oz.
Guys, how does Clifford the big red dog survive? Like, what does it eat? Like, even if you have a bulldozer, you know how much food you have to be giving it every freaking day? Like, its owners have to be pulling in 6 figures, both of them. Hashtag third grade science.
The main thing I won't miss from before coronavirus is people that don't get vaccinated.
So now that we're in quarantine, I don't ever socialize. I don't take showers every day. I don't wear pants at work. So really everything's the same, but I get judged a lot less for it.
My pandemic eating habits have been so bad. I actually skipped the first 2 forms of diabetes, went straight to the third, and like most trilogies in the last movie, the last one's full of the most crap.
I feel like looking at science now is like catching up with your friend from 3rd grade who's really sad now. Like, it used to be all about like planting seeds and magnets. And now all he wants to talk about is how there's no evidence for God and the world's going to end.
Learning about Vietnam was always really confusing for me because considering the term guerrilla warfare and the name Viet Cong, I just thought it was a Donkey Kong character.
Some of the things I learned in 3rd grade science are actually surprisingly applicable to today. Remember how much geology we studied? Now I finally understand what a sedimentary lifestyle is. Every day I don't shower, I have a layer of filth. Science rules.
Bill Nye writer right there. Woo!
So my daughter, she's first grade, but she's doing a lot of science experiments. You know, one of her experiments lately is how many times could you spank mommy's butt before mommy actually notices?
So if there was a Pixar movie about office supplies, I'm totally for it. I would love to see that movie. However, only if Dora the Explorer is in it. Because she had a live action movie and she was too hot. Like it was just, I couldn't focus on the thought, like what was going on, just staring at her. And I can see in the audience women not wanting to laugh at that. But if there was Bob the Builder with Zac Efron playing it, you'd be about it. You're welcome. Hashtag Pixar.
Thanks, Riz.
In my third grade class, there was this kid that used to eat paste. But my parents always packed me horse because they didn't believe in eating processed crap.
So in third grade, there was an older guy that would come help teach our classroom sometimes, and I once told him he reminded me of my grandpa, to which he responded, "You're only my third or fourth favorite."
My pandemic eating habits have gotten so bad. Before the pandemic started, I was 150 pounds.
I feel like one thing I won't miss from quarantine is the whole essential workers thing. Because as a comedian, I'm an essential worker in the same way essential oils are essential.
I went to like a Christian elementary school, so I'm jealous of people who learned about evolution in third grade. I had to wait till seeing Joe Holt on Zoom to understand that man was descended from fish.
Oh, cold blooded.
Look at that fish, Joe.
Last jokes, everyone. Last jokes.
Okay, saving those. All right. If there are any BYU students in the audience, I hope you know that the dress code still applies, okay? The Lord is still keeping an eye on your virtue. So your sweatpants can't go above the knee, and your 3-day unwashed EFY t-shirt better not have the sleeves cut off.
So, you know, with the current apocalypse, fashion's changed quite a bit. Right now, the latest trend is business up top, and I guess that counts as underwear on the bottom.
My pandemic eating habits are kind of what Joey Chestnut looks like at the end of a hot dog eating contest, in the sense like he's already ate so much, but he's like, just keep going. I'm saving lives. Hashtag pandemic.
My third grade bully is now my family doctor. He hasn't lost his touch because the other day he gave my kid his first round of shots and was like, "That's 2 for flinching."
What's the deal with office supplies? Only one of them is Staples, but they're all staples.
Trump recently said that he looks to the Vietnam War as a guide to handle national crisis. So I'm sure everything's going to be fine for us.
That is round 2 in the books. Everyone give a round of applause.
Yay!
Oh, I gotta put my phone down.
Okay, so for round 3, I have created a straw poll, and I will put it into the chat. So please, why did it go to Emily privately? Everyone. I am learning Zoom on the fly. So I have attached a poll in the chat. Please follow that link and vote for, did I create multiple options? No, just vote for your favorite to advance to the final round. We're going to take the top 2 comedians, and they will both be doing 5-minute sets. After that, we will vote for the final winner of the night. So this is going to be a short intermission. This is just...
Oh, crap, I gotta look at what you guys look like again.
While people vote, should we just like tell the other jokes we wrote?
Yes, yeah. This is your...
Let's all vote for Oz's Brazilian wife. I heard she's spicy.
Pixar's making a new movie about the little paperclip guy from Microsoft Word. Finally, a movie to answer the question, it looks like you're trying to write a letter. Do you need help? I actually took a trip to Vietnam once, and the tour guide, this is a true story, the tour guide was trying to explain, from Vietnam's perspective, America shouldn't have been there in the first place. I had to explain to him that, like, from America's perspective, America shouldn't have been there in the first place.
All right, we're going to do 30 more seconds. Votes are coming in. I'm trying to see. So we got 23 participants, 14 non-video, so we're still missing a few.
That tour guide makes me wonder how many American tourists come to Vietnam and are like, yeah, it makes sense why we invaded this place.
It was a mystery to me. After that trip, I was like, we wasted an awful lot of Agent Orange that could have been used better elsewhere. They're not that communist. That's what we're afraid of.
We gotta stock up on our Agent Orange.
Okay, I think all the votes.
No freedom of speech.
All the votes are in, and it is our final two comedians heading into round 3. Drum roll, please, but out of sync because none of our videos. Our final two comedians will be Adam Brown and Taylor Nielsen.
Bummer.
Okay, we are going to do a coin flip to decide heads. Okay, I'm using a D&D dice. So,
is that a coin flip?
Adam, odds or even?
Roll for initiative.
I choose to go second. Is that an option?
You can choose after the coin flip.
Oh, even.
Or is that fine by you, Taylor? Are you fine going first?
No, it's not fine, Tanner.
Okay, so Adam votes even. It is 7 is the roll, so that's odd. So Taylor, you get your choice. Do you want to go first?
So Taylor goes first.
Or no? Taylor gets to choose.
I think for the first time in my life, I'll be the big closer. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So Adam, let me spotlight your.
Let's talk about fears, guys. Let's talk about what we're scared of. I'm not scared of the coronavirus. I'm under 65 years old, and I have the undue confidence of a white male. So I'm not scared of the coronavirus at all. I'm scared of some normal stuff like spiders. I'm scared of spiders, but I feel like I've got good reason to be scared of spiders because when I was a kid, I got bit by a brown recluse. Right? I got bit. For those of you who don't know, brown recluse is one of the most poisonous spiders in the world. It bites you and it disintegrates your skin and eats away at it, and you don't even know what's happening. You can't feel it, and it's terrifying. And I didn't know I got bit, but I got bit on my butt. And the only way that I found out was because I had swim lessons, and I went upstairs to change, and I shared a room with my brother. And as I was changing my clothes, all of a sudden I heard from behind me, "Ah!" And I turned around, and there was my brother, and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "There's a hole in your butt." And I was like, "Everybody's got a hole in their butt." And he was like, "No, there's like a second one." And I was like, "Oh, that is interesting, but problematic." And so, yeah, it turned out I was bit. Now, at the time, I was like really scared, but I loved Spider-Man at the time, my favorite superhero. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll get Spider-Man's powers. But that's when I realized that Spider-Man, he got bit on like his arms, so he could shoot webs out. And and I was then terrified that my web slinging would just be a little too realistic. Yeah, scared of spiders. Got some unrealistic fears as well. I'm not a big fan of birds flying over my head. It freaks me out. To be more succinct, really what it is I'm scared to get pooped on, right? And that stands for like any. And there were 2 guys hanging out on a telephone wire with their butts out. Like I would go around, right? And then if they like flew after me, then I'd be that much more freaked out. I'm actually really glad that of all the species that exist, like at least it's birds that are the most likely to poop on you, because can you imagine, I mean, you get pooped on by a bird and, you know, your hour is ruined. You get pooped on by a telephone wired horse, like you are knocked out, right? Which brings me to my third fear, which is Pegasus. Anyway. I think this is a good time. I'll tell the poop joke that got interrupted earlier because people love those. Every time I poop, I dedicate it to a friend, so that if they ever say no one gives a crap about me, I can let them know that just isn't true. That's the big joke you waited for. That's right. People talk about how, people talk about Jesus coming back, and I've seen these paintings a lot of times where Jesus comes back and there's like angels playing instruments and stuff, and I always have to wonder, what is Jesus's walk-on music? It's so interesting. Because for one, I can tell you for sure, he's not coming back to Christian music, because first off, Christian music, sorry, zero bops, zero. None of it slaps. It just doesn't. And if it's the second coming, music gotta slap, right? So I was thinking, also, he can't come back to Christian music because Christian music is all about him. And that's awkward. Like, can you imagine if I started my set with a song that was just like, lift me up and let your love shine down. I love you so much, Adam, wanna feel your breath. Like, it's way too weird. It's just very strange. So I was thinking, I was like, what is Jesus' walk-on music? Is it a parody? Is he like, hey, I'm king of the Jews, and this is crazy, but I'm returning. I've come to save thee. I prefer to think that he's just coming back to the song where it goes, can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? That's really what I'm hoping, which is a song by a tribe called Judah. Unfortunately, based on the pictures, he's probably going to come back. I've seen it. All the angels have trumpets, so he's coming back to ska music, which is why I'm pretty sure it's called That Great and Terrible Day. I think that's my 5 minutes. Also, true story, there's a friggin' spider crawling around here, and this is terrifying. And I hate it.
All right, well, that's it for
to go.
round. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dying after that set, so one swan song to go out on. All right, Taylor, I am going to unmute and snap.
Whoa!
Nice.
By the way, when I flash the note card here, can you see that?
Yeah, I sure can.
That's going to be your 30-second warning.
Taylor,
take that into consideration.
wait, Taylor, what pants are you wearing?
What's that? Sorry?
What pants are you wearing?
Doesn't match. Didn't match.
Okay,
Anyway.
start when you're ready, Taylor.
Okay. Hey. So. Okay. There's a few things about the English language I don't understand. What is the phrase, don't open up that can of worms? Because I feel like as far as worms go, you know, as far as insects go, worms are some of the least threatening. Well, even worm walked up to me in a dark alley and said, hey, stick up. I'd say, excuse me, sir, you're a worm. Wouldn't it be, I think Adam can relate, wouldn't it be a lot more terrifying if the phrase was, don't open up that can of spiders? So without further ado, this is my impression of opening up a can of worms versus a can of spiders. Can of worms. Ew, worms. Can of spiders. about what it means to be a bad boy recently. Okay, I've kind of figured out what it means to be a bad boy. All right, you know you're a bad boy when, all right, you walk into the watch store, find the biggest guy in there, and you clock him in the face. Come on. You know you're a bad boy when you walk into the Kool-Aid store, find the biggest guy in there, and you punch him in the face. Come on. You know you're a bad A when you walk into the math store, find the biggest guy in there, and you give him the old 1-2. Come on. But you know when you're the baddest boy of all? When you walk into the vape store, biggest guy in there, pull on the side and say, vaping leads to smoking. And I care about you too much to see you throw your life away. That's an important joke because we realize that kindness, that's what makes you the baddest boy of all. So, when you live the bachelor life, all right, there's a few things you learn. I learned real quick how invaluable TV dinners are. TV dinners? I don't know, something like this. Hungry Man. Inclusive name for a TV dinner. What, does it say on the back? If you're not a cisgender male, probably just make a sandwich? I wrote that. Anyways, and here's my big closer. I realized I was doing TV dinners all wrong the other day. When I spent half an hour trying to fit one of these puppies in the VCR. That's what I realized. They're not literally dinners for TVs.
What was that?
At that point, you know, you have to just check the cupboard, see what else you have. You know. Uh-oh. Can of spiders.
All right, Taylor Gilson, everyone.
I feel like I know who the kid is voting for. Yo.
By the way, are the comics supposed to vote? I just voted.
Yeah, you guys can vote.
Okay.
Do it. You won't.
So Joe, you just voted when Taylor's name went up a tick? That's when you voted?
Oh, shoot. Go fish face. Nice.
Hey.
Okay, we're gonna do it. 15-second warning to vote. It is even right now. So,
is there an even number of people?
There is, but I didn't vote, so there should only be 21.
I vote for Taylor.
Oh shoot, Sarah!
You came in the middle of Taylor's set. You didn't even see after.
Messed up.
Okay, shoot! I should have thought of a tiebreaker. How do we want to do a tiebreaker?
Sudden death.
Adam
fight.
can have
Oh.
it. Adam can have it.
Hold
Impressions.
on, no. Last second, Adam Browd gets one final vote to put it in. Adam Browd is your winner. That was a close one. Adam Browd, do you have any closing statements, any victory speeches for the First Comediathalon winner?
I just want to say thank you. I'm so excited that I won and so excited that I found out that Sarah and Joe are my enemies. Also want to say I voted for Taylor. Good job, Taylor.
Wow.
Little good camaraderie at the end there. Thank you, everyone, for watching our First Comediathalon. That's it for today.
Yay!
Thank you for watching the Comediathalon. Be sure to follow the links to donate to Improv Broadway. And stick around for some behind the scenes and a comedy showcase of your host, Tanner Rahlf.